So what you're seeing in your reality is actually just a vision or just an image, and what you are feeling, your emotions, is the experience actually. So I want to talk about that. And when I heard this, it made like a lot sense to me. I don't know why though. What you're seeing in reality is just an image or just a vision, and what's happening inward, what you are feeling, your emotions, is it itself is the experience you are having. And metaphorically, we use emotions, feelings as a film, and we visualize things in reality, and we see a visual or image or vision through that film of emotions and feelings, or what's happening inside. And it's a film, and you're gonna visualize reality around it, or you're gonna see what you are associating with that emotion or feelings. So if you are currently experiencing something you don't want to experience, or if you are seeing something you don't want to see, and first thing first, it's just an image, so don't freak out or don't panic. And second, all you gotta do is just remove the film out of the machine, or whatever it is, meaning let go of that feelings or emotions you are associating with that reality. Then when you change your film, or it has to be the vision or the image has to be changed, because the root of it all, film is change. What did I just say? I hope that made sense. But yeah, so when you look at it that way, reality is just telling you, or reality is just reflecting. Wait. No. I want to talk about something else too. Reality, I don't have my own expression or my way to describe what reality is, so I'm gonna have to use others. But I heard it's actually it is just reflection of your beliefs and thinking, your beliefs, or even your emotions. It is just reflecting back to you what is happening inward, inside in your heart, or in your mind, soul. I don't know what exactly is involved in this, but people, including myself, people like to talk about the image they're seeing in their reality. Maybe your partner is blah blah blah, or you're maybe struggling with money, or maybe these things, what you are seeing in the reality. But that is just an image, and what you are associating with that experience, anxiety, fear, pain, sorrow, these things, emotions and feelings, is the experience itself. And all you gotta do is just let go of these emotions and feelings you are associated with that reality that you don't want to see, and then change the film in a way, and reality is gonna change. There's so many things I want to talk about, but my brain is not catching up with my mouth, speed of my mouth. So hello. So yeah, and people love to talk about what they're seeing in reality, but it is actually just an image. So, and like I said earlier, but reality is just telling you what you need to let go of, or not need to, but it is just letting you know what you are holding on to and what is not serving you anymore. All you gotta do is just let go of the things you are holding on to, in this case, emotions and feelings, most likely negative emotions and feelings, negative ones. then you can change your reality. You're gonna visualize whole different reality when you change your film inside. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? I hope that made sense. But yeah, and so that topic leads me to another topic I want to talk about. But when I was like learning about, I forgot what I was learning, but I learned that humans actually, they are craving for emotions, not what they want in reality. So let me try to cook on this. So we say hypothetically, I want to be rich, I want to become rich, but you being rich is just an image, like I said, and you actually want the emotions or the feelings you think that image gonna give you. So for example, being rich, I think it's gonna give me some sort of like security and satisfaction, or what else could it be? Enjoyment, love, fulfillment, like fun, or feeling alive. I don't know what exactly I am thinking that it will give me, but these emotions and feelings, at the end of the day, humans crave for emotions and feelings, not what you want to see in your reality. It's kind of confusing, but at the end of the day, what you really want is not the image, but the core of the root of it all, emotions and feelings. So what? I wanted to say, okay, I got it. So let's just go with this I want to become rich example. So I want to be rich, but that's just an image. And what I'm actually wishing for, craving for, looking for is the emotions that I think becoming rich is gonna provide me. But like I said, people like to talk about what they are seeing in reality, including myself, of course. What you need to focus on is what you want to feel, or what you want to feel. Yeah, feel, what happens inward, not external. This is just what I'm thinking, but this is off topic. But I've been kind of overwhelmed by, I'm trying to learn so many things, like law of attraction, or so many spiritual things, and laws and phenomena, and so many how universe works, or I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I don't know, or maybe nothing is wrong and nothing is right. But anyways, I've been overwhelmed by there's so much crazy amount of laws and ways how things work, and people see things differently. That's why if there's 10 people, there is going to be 10 different opinions and thoughts and ways of thinking. So, and I'm trying to get all of the information and downloads, or what wisdom people have, and I'm trying to steal some of it, or use it for my life or for myself. But I've been overwhelmed by there's been too much for me. So I thought I just want to know. I just want to know the root of it all. Very core, absolute essence of everything. And I don't know this is it or not, but this hit me very hard. So I just wanted to share with you I don't know where I'm going with this, but anyways, so what I was even just saying, I got it. I remember. I got it. Okay, so what you actually want in your life is emotions and feelings. Like, I keep saying the same thing millions and zillions of times, but so what you want is feelings and emotions, not the vision. So for example, I want to become rich. This is just an example. I want to be rich, but what I'm actually craving for, what I'm actually looking for is the security I think it's gonna give me, or satisfaction, fun, feeling alive in life, or fulfillment, security, like love or whatever it might be. But I want feelings and emotions, and I am craving for that. But on the surface level, I want to become rich, and it is just an image. But we hold on to the vision or an image version of your desire or wish, but essence of, and what is truly important here is, like, what you want to feel, your emotions and feelings. Like, I keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. So, but when you focus too much on your vision, your image, what image, what you want in your life, like, image itself, how can I say this? So for example, I am now version of myself is here, and when I get what I want and I get the feelings I want, is the version of myself getting that is here. But when you focus too much on the vision or an image itself, it is just an image, but what I want is actually here. But when we focus on the image, what we want in reality, right? So when you focus too much onto that, all you gotta do is just go to this way. But when you get fixated on the image of it itself, like, becoming rich, you seek for becoming rich, not the emotions. Like, all you gotta do is just go straight there. But when you try to focus, when you get fixated on becoming rich, but you will go this way, or what I'm saying, like, what I'm like, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But you go out of alignment, so you will never be able to get the emotions you are seeking for, because you are going out of alignment and you are seeking to become rich. Like, you are trying to change the external world first before inward. But what you actually need to work on is the inside, what you are feeling, what you are feeling, or what you are believing in. So, like, everything happens, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know how to say it, but I think everything happens from inward, or everything starts from inside of you, your heart, your soul. Because, like I said, we want just emotions and feelings, and these are just the films you use to see the vision, the reality around it. Like, it is associated with the emotions and feelings. So does that make sense? So, but what you actually want is not the vision or an image itself, but the core of it all: emotions, feelings. And also, I want to say, like, for example, I said I want to become rich, but myself, I think I am thinking that becoming rich is gonna provide me some sort of, like, satisfaction, fulfillment, love, or love, relief, or a sense of security. So what I've been saying is like, what we want is actually emotions and feelings. So when you focus on to that, like, emotions and feelings you want, and you can actually feel that emotions already in your reality some way. Like, it doesn't have to be that, but you can actually feel it right here, right now, in your daily ordinary life right now. Hypothetically, like, for example, sense of security. What should I give for an example? So hypothetically, if I am struggling with money, sense of security, I am always like, insecure, or like, I am always like getting anxiety because I am running out of money always. And like, I'm not sure if I can make it to like, I'm not sure if I can like afford to pay bills that I have to pay. So, and I'm always anxiety, and I'm always scared, and I'm always like, lacking of sense of security. But at least, I pay rent, I pay internet fee, like, I pay like bills, right? And I get groceries. But when you do that, at least you get the emotions, like, for now, oh, it's good, like, it's okay for now, like, whole month will be secured if you pay, when you pay, like, bills, monthly bills, right? Like, you are secured in the whole month. So, and at that moment, you can also feel the sense of security. This is just an example, right? And when you try to focus more onto, what you actually want to feel, and try to like, feel that emotions and feelings on a daily basis, you start to tune into that, like, frequency, and you're gonna start attract, like, things that will give you peace of mind or a sense of security, right? Because everything is like, vibrational frequency or something like that. So, and you're gonna start attract, like, when you try to feel the emotions you want in advance without you actually like getting what you are trying to get in your vision, in your reality. But emotions, because you can feel it, in ordinary daily life, bigger or smaller, I don't know, but you can. So yeah, the more you feel it, the more you will attract things that gives you that emotions. Does that make sense? So yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is just like, when you want something, or when you try to accomplish something, or when you try to manifest or attract something into your reality, like, focus more on to what you want to feel, or your feelings and emotions, rather than like, an image itself, because it's the essence, it's the core of your cravings or your wish, your desires. And that way you're gonna save so much time and energy, because it is the core, it is the essence. I believe now, this version of myself believes so. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I was rambling as usual, and I'm pretty sure sometimes, like, in this video, I didn't make any sense. But if you made it till this point of this video, oh my gosh, I cannot appreciate you enough, and I just cannot thank you enough. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate it. And I genuinely hope you have wonderful, mystical, awesome, great night, morning, bedtime, lunchtime, weekday, weekend, whenever you are watching this video. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much, and I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Very, 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 very soon.